Mercer played a better game today than we did. This game is about execution, and they did a better job of that today. They capitalized. The majority of the games are decided when one team scores more runs in one inning than the other team scores in the game. That was the case. Their 7 was more than our 6. Their 7 in the 4th. We could not consistently execute with 2 strikes, less than 2 strikes. Holtz did a nice job. He got us out of a mess. We were trying to use he and Charles and some of the other guys maybe to get out of some traffic, and then use some of the less experienced arms to try to start clean. And clearly they did a good job. They deserved to win that game. We've had guys on the mound today that have had good moments, and obviously today was not in that form. Max had a good day at the plate. Tibbs, the throw from right field was beautiful. Cam had some nice at-bats. We were grinding and had a chance to push right back into that thing, but then we would relinquish that. When you have that many freebies, you're setting yourself up for damaging innings, and they capitalized. They have to capitalize, and they did. And that's a good team. You can take the records and do whatever you want to with them. That's a talented physical group, and they played a good game tonight. Their starting pitcher used his changeup. They had other guys with different looks. They managed it well, and we clearly did not execute enough to get out of our way to give us a chance to take the game over. We never really had control of that game. So unfortunate, good lesson for everybody, very tough lesson that you have to bring it every single day. And this was not a lack of being ready to play. This was just a lack of consistent execution that got you in trouble.
Is this just some of the give and take you're going to have when you're trying to get some of those less experienced guys to get some more experience?
Well, I hope not, because we've seen everybody that was out there today perform in some capacity. Now, it hasn't been on point every single pitch of every outing, and that's hard to do. But we've seen everybody that was on the mound today do some good things for us. But we stacked some bad outcomes of things, and when you do that, you're opening yourself up for that kind of run production against you. And it's hard to assess exactly why. There are some guys that have been out there a lot. We did not want Army and Oxford in this thing at all today. We just wanted them. They needed it. And, Joe and Holtz, they were okay. Like, these guys are relatively fresh. In the grand scheme of things, relatively fresh. It just wasn't crisp and sharp tonight. Yoel showed some 7s, 97s, and then it quickly kind of trickled backwards a little bit with the velocity, and I think he was maybe showing them the secondary pitches a little bit, and they did a good job of laying off some things. So just tough, like, to watch our team have to go through that and walk out of here on the wrong side of it is difficult. And Mercer earned that today and capitalized on the opportunities they had.
What would you say is Hudson Rowe? What would you say was the biggest culprit for Hudson Rowe in giving up 4 runs?
He's kind of, I think, working through some mechanical things that are not a big deal, and he just has to regain confidence. Like the working on your mechanics and working through some things and staying aggressive as you figure out how to get it back on track. I think that's where he is, and the stuff is good enough to help us, and we need him to help us. And I think we were able to get him in there to start a clean inning. If I remember, there's a lot of stuff that transpired after that. But that was kind of our goal. And the aggression and the velocity for him, every pitcher has different things that seem to work. The velocity for him matters, and we're trying to get that back and get him aggressive. Sometimes the confidence helps that back along. And he's going to be fine. He threw some good breaking balls, not enough. He had a chance to put the one guy away, I think, was an 0-2 pitch. He threw 2 good breaking balls, I think their leadoff guy, and then the third one was not as good as the first 2. And that's what started it for him. But he's going to be okay.
I think you said on the Friday or Saturday that you guys made some adjustments with Max just to get him more to the whole field. I think a couple of his singles went up the middle. Just what have you seen from him? those adjustments? In the last
just
couple
more
games?
just more comfortable with the spacing, and he's doing a better job of managing the zone. And I think because he's a little more relaxed and can make a better decision, I think his pitch selection comes along with it. So he's responded well, and he hit those balls hard. Those balls are stepped on, and he had a really good day. It was impressive. Like batting practice today, just that's nothing new to watch what he's capable of doing, but the game application of what he's working on and really the pitch selection, I think, has gone right along with the physical things, and that was impressive.
Did you want?
Coach, seeing some of the pitchers with not much experience, gaining experience out there, just what was some of the message that you tell your staff after having to put on 9 guys in?
Well, this revolves around when you're preparing to come into these games and you're preparing to do your work in practice every day. You have to bring that into the arena and go battle with it. And it needs to be your A-level quality stuff when you toe the rubber. And those 8 warm-up pitches, every one of them matters, and it needs to replicate what you're about to do in the game. And it's tough to say why that happened today, because every one of those kids that was out there, we've seen perform. But it was, you could endure 1 guy or 2 guys maybe not being on it, but it was the frequency with which we entered and couldn't really stay on the rails with our stuff, other than thought Holtz was pretty impressive what he did. But we needed a little bit more of the best version of themselves when this thing started.
And going to the next series, going to Wake Forest, a ranked team, they're coming off a loss themselves. What would you say will be for the expectations going into that game, knowing that you want to bounce back and get a signature win in the conference?
They're dynamic. Like, they're an energetic, dynamic group. They're physical. They've got some really good arms, experienced arms. So that's going to be all you can handle when you roll up there. We need Jamie to really do a good job for us and extend, so we limit some of these guys having to go out so often. We need Dorsey to extend his starts. It's a unique field. It's an all-turf field. The confines, it's a little tight, so it plays far different than this. And how the wind factors into that can be a really small park. Or if the wind's pushing in, it plays a little bit more normal. But any way you slice it, the dimensions are tight. And their fans are into it, and their team is talented. So you're walking right into what is a super regional type situation.